Let's just go live. Let's just go live. The dates are out. The dates are out, and you can see I've got them scrolling across the bottom of the page. Fantastic. We are away to Feyenoord, the first game. Exciting times, the first game, so you've got to get your trip booked really quick because the flights will go up in price this morning, and I expect a lot of people heading over to Feyenoord for that game. So who's all on this morning? Port Chop Express, Mona Hoops, 1888 CFC. I'm going back to sleep after this, and no sleep till Brooklyn. So the dates are out. I'm not expecting too many people on the live this morning because it's an unscheduled one, and I just thought I would jump on and do the live. I'll read out the dates again. Dates are Tuesday the 19th September, Feyenoord Celtic. We're away the first game. Wednesday the 4th of October, we're at home to Lazio. 25th of October, we are at home to Atletico Madrid. The 7th of November, we're away to Atletico Madrid. The 28th of November, we're away to Lazio. And then the last game of the group stages, the 13th of December, we're at home to Feyenoord. That's an important game. We really need to pick up something again in Lazio. Remember, the last time we were in Lazio, we managed to sneak a win. Yeah, there's 13 people online now, which is fantastic. As you can see, I've got the dates scrolled. They will be confirmed by Celtic in about 20 minutes' time. But that's the dates that I've got so far, and that will be the dates. It will be the dates. Brilliant news. Who's all going to the Champions League games? We've booked hotels already. We've booked already. Well, the best ones are here, Baz. Yes, that's it. There's 13 people online. Everyone will still be sleeping for yesterday. It is early in the morning back home. There's 18 online now. We will just recap the dates again. I'll go over them again. And then we'll talk a bit about the window, because the window is now shut. All our business is done. And we'll talk about all the players that have came in. So first game away, it's Feyenoord, 19th of September. That's going to be a cracking game. There's going to be some mad rush now to get flights booked for that, because flights will jump up this morning. People trying to get into Amsterdam and then get down to Feyenoord for that. That'll be fantastic. That'll be some trip, that. Wednesday, the 4th of October, Celtic are at home to Lazio. 25th of October, Celtic are at home to Atletico Madrid. That'll be a fantastic night at Celtic Park under the lights. 7th of November, Atletico Madrid were away to Madrid the 7th of November, and we have just booked our hotels already for the Madrid one. 28th of November, we're away to Lazio, a 5:45 local time kickoff. That's an interesting one. It's an earlier kickoff in Lazio. 13th of December, the last game of the group stages, and we are at home to Feyenoord. That is it. Anyone heard the zombies saying they didn't want Palmer? Pure liars. Yep, they're pure liars. Morning, mate. Come on, it's Celts. Morning from London troops. Happy this morning that we've managed to get. I mean, Celtic haven't even released the dates yet on their calendar, the fixture calendar. I don't think they can do it till 9 o'clock, but they have been released. No, Celtic haven't updated their calendar as yet. I expect that to get updated in about 17 minutes' time. And let's just hope we won't jump the gun with the dates. But they're pretty much confirmed. It's a tough opener. Tough opener away to Feyenoord. That'll really set us up. I mean, the first two games, you've got to say, I mean, there's no easy games in this group. There is no easy games. Let's face it. I don't think we'll win in Madrid. Atletico are on fire just now. They're right behind Real Madrid in the league, second position in the league just now. So, that's going to be a really hard game. Will it be as hard as last year? Well, we'll soon find out. At home in Lazio, I don't think we'll win away from home. There's every chance we can take something off them at home, though. Second game, will it come too early? It's the 4th of October. Hopefully, we'll have some players back from injury then. Hopefully, the injury list won't be as big. And then we've got two home games. 2 home games in October in the Champions League, which is always good. Celtic Lazio That's going to be a hard one. It's going to be a hard one. Even if we can get a draw both these games, get us 2 points. Feyenoord away, that's going to be a hard one as well. It's first game. We need to try and get out the first 3 games. We need to try and get at least 2 points, I would say. Morning trips from Belfast, have good vibes. At the Crumble Dome, O'Reilly scored the opener. Europa is better than the Champions League, by the way. Yep. I think once we drop down into the Europa, we need to finish third. It's paramount that we finish third. It's absolutely paramount that we finish third. Let's just see if there is any update. I've left my phone. High demand causes system failures. Let me just see if there's any other news kicking about. Celtic haven't updated their site just yet. As soon as Celtic updates, I think there'll be complete meltdown. So you're happy with that? You're happy with the way that it's went with the fixtures? I mean, there is no easy fixtures. Let's talk about the players that were brought in through this Champions League window. Obviously, the incoming on deadline day was Paulo. I don't know what took Celtic so long to get that done through. I think they were just hanging off to make us feel as if we were going to get a couple of more players in. I understand Brendan was quite disappointed with the way that the windows went. He didn't get in the quality that he wanted. But we all said, we brought in 10 players. 10 players. Was that too much for this window? Iwata we brought in. We brought Odin. We then brought in Marco. We brought in Yang. We brought in Kwon, Rocky. I mean, we brought in a lot of younger players. Has to be said. I mean, look at the age of the players that were brought in. First of all, well, Iwata was 26, but that was an option. That was an obligation to buy, thanks to Ange Postecoglou. He's 26. He's one of the older ones that was signed. Odin's only 20 years old. Marco, another one, 21-year-old. Yang, 21-year-old. Kwon, 22-year-old. Rocky, 22-year-old. Gustav, 23-year-old. Luis Palma, 23-year-old. Nate Phillips is the elder statesman that came in, but he's going to give us some much needed defence cover, because let's face it, we're short on defence. And Nat Phillips just came in, and he's 26. And then we obviously brought in, on the last day, we brought in the man from Portugal. So there is a lot of players at a really young age, and I think, when you look back to a week ago, when the manager said, I want to bring in some experience. We need some experience in the team. Geez, all Rotterdam, the biggest port in Europe. I'm driving via Bremen. Yep, it doesn't matter. If we win tomorrow's, Celtic will win their 54th title this season, I guarantee it. I don't think it matters if we win on Sunday, but I do think that Celtic will win the league. Celtic will be too strong to win the league. Confident for tomorrow. It always matters versus. Of course, it always matters. But in the bigger picture, I think that if they were to win, they would only go 2 points clear, and we'll get that back. But I don't think they will win. I do think that we will. We'll do something tomorrow. I really think we'll do. And the way that they got tanked the other day, Baz. What's not happy about it? Big test for the club, bring it on. I know, it's brilliant. It is brilliant. Not happy we never got a left back, says Michael. A lot of people were talking about that, and a lot of people were talking about the fact that we never got a keeper also. O'Reilly scored the opener this weekend. Europa is better than the Champions League. We've seen that one, right? Somewhere else. Backs to the wall draw, says Nicholas. I've no idea how we don't plant Iwata. And how we don't play Iwata in his natural position. Time will tell if he's good job, mate. Watch the channel every time I get a chance. First time posting, good job, mate. Cheers, David. Thank you for that. The points do matter. Yeah, no, they do matter. But when we sit back and we look at the injuries we've had at this moment, I think we will get a draw as a minimum. Tomorrow, we will get a draw. I've got a funny feeling that Rodgers is going to pull a rabbit at the bag when it comes down to the team selection. That'll be really interesting. When we're all trying to predict the team last night, but let's face it, we should run them off the pitch. Adrenaline for the Huns will last 30 minutes. It's up to us to win. And not this early. Says 1888. Right. Well, you see the fixtures going along the bottom of the screen. See if Celtic won't release them till bang on 9 o'clock. October. Yeah, they've still not done it. Still not done it yet. But the UEFA Champions League fixture schedule released by UEFA. It's brilliant. Feyenoord, Atletico Madrid, and Lazio. I tell you, we missed out on a right couple of hard groups. When you look at the groups, we've actually got a group where you think we might be able to do something this year. And when I say that, I mean finishing third. I do mean finishing third. I don't mean trying to win the group by any means. That's never going to be possible. Celtic, I mean, finishing second is a bit of a pipe dream. A lot of people are saying we should be aiming for second. You'll get a lot of media types saying that we should be aiming for second. I don't believe that. I believe that our level is definitely trying to finish third and then get morning from Coke Bridge. Jim, exactly. The Zombies won't recover if they lose. Celtic will. Yeah, that's what I was kind of getting at. It's not. I don't think that they're going to have the consistency. They're going to get their normal penalty Rangers. I think they will get a penalty on Sunday. Feels like you're always live, Jamie. It's a lot easier to do the lives than it is to edit, to record the video. The reason I jumped on the live this morning is I thought it's the time that you record the video, you edit it, and then the time you upload it. It takes about an hour. It's where you can jump on live and then just do the videos straight away. Scales left back for tomorrow. Stop the Zombies. Slinging shot over Taylor. Be careful in Italy this time round. Loads of fascists will have something planned for us. Possibly. They didn't like the way that. Well, you'll get kept in the ground after the game. That's a given with the Champions League. Champions League game, you're always kept in the ground until the home fans have left and dissipated back to the. But yeah, they will try something. But the best thing to do is if you go to a European away game, is either stick with a crowd of people or get away from the touristy bits and don't wear your colours. I know it's difficult, especially kicking around during the day, but or the best bit is probably head to where all the other Celtic fans are going. Paddy's Point tomorrow for the match. Yes, I will be, Philip. I'll be down at Paddy's Point tomorrow for the match. We'll see if Mr. No One comes in. I doubt it. Predict a clean sheet tomorrow. I predict a penalty Sevco. I think they will get a penalty, especially at Ibrox. But we'll see. We'll see how good. That they. I'm not as nerve wracked as I usually am leading up to a derby. Don't know why. I just feel relaxed. Hail from David from Shockhead. So you'll see the dates going across the bottom. Tuesday the 16th of September, 8 p.m. away to Feyenoord. October 4th, 8 p.m. Celtic at home to Lazio. 25th of October, 8 p.m. Celtic at home to Atletico Madrid. And then on the 7th of November, Atletico Madrid away. Back to Madrid again. And then the 28th of November, we are away to Lazio, and that's an earlier kickoff. Is that an earlier kickoff for a reason? And then the last game is on Wednesday, the 13th of December. It's always good to get the last game at home, especially in the Champions League, because if we feel that, if it comes down to just getting that 3 points to finish third, it could all come down to just getting those. If those 3 points matter, just for finishing third. Need the anniversary shirt, £70 good price. I think for a fourth top for the season, I think they should have made it. I mean, they're saying it as an anniversary one, and it's a limited edition, but we'll see how limited it is. When there's probably 100,000 people will be wearing it. Hi from South Africa, exciting getting the game live on ESPN. Hail. Yep, Huns can't defend. We need to capitalise that. On our shortcomings. I think we'll run riot tomorrow. I think we've now got the pace in the team. I think the signings that we've made this week, and for me, getting Phillips in defence. Getting Phillips in defence was probably the best thing that we did at this late in the window. Highbacks, Patrick Toner says, hi Baz, I don't feel worried about tomorrow. I was at the start of the week. He'll hail from Belfast. As long as we can keep a clean sheet. Is Tillo fit? Marco, no, he's not fit. He's not going to be fit for another few weeks. I think they're all hoping there's an international break coming up. So once the international break's done, we're expecting to get quite a few players back. And then that'll take us on the run to October. And then there's another international break in October. Let's see if there's any other kicking out news this morning. Players that left the club. Players that left the club were obviously Jota. Now, this is where it gets interesting because a lot of people are going to say, right, look at the money that we've spent. And it is time to talk about this. Look at the money that we spent compared to the money that we brought in. Now, it was suggested, no one at Celtic actually came out with the figure, but it was suggested that Celtic had 30 million to spend this summer. We got 25 for million. We got 150k for Connor Hazard. We got 4.5 million pounds for Carl Starfelt, right? And then we also got money for Sorrow, didn't we? And then we also got money for... No, we didn't because he's went out on loan. Right, Jota, 25 million we brought in. We lost Jota. We lost Connor Hazard. 150 grand we got for him from Plymouth. Carl Starfelt, Celta Vigo. Wonder if he's regretting going to Celta Vigo because they're now third bottom in the league as it stands in Spain just now. But they're only 3 games in, so hopefully they'll get their finger out and Carl will have a bit of a better season. Adam Montgomery, he went out on loan down to Fleetwood to work with Scott Brown. Liam Shaw went to Wigan for a season-long loan. Bosun Lowell, another one that went to Fleetwood Town to work with Scott, which is fantastic for him, 20-year-olds. When you look at the players that we're bringing in at 2021, is it fair that we're putting our own academy players out on loan? Should we be bringing them into the first team? I think so personally. You know, if they're good enough to go out on loan, we've bought players in. When you look at the age of the players that we've bought in, I mean, Odin, 20-year-old, right? Marco, 21. Yang, 21. Kwon, 22. Rocky, 22. Gustav, 23. Palmer, 23. Right? And then we're putting out our own players on loan. Bosun Lowell, 20. Liam Shaw, 22. You know, Aaron Moy, obviously, he retired. Barkas, 29-year-old goalkeeper that was absolutely donkey for us. He is now at Utrecht and he's having a fantastic season by all accounts, and he's made some cracking saves already. But when you look at, go back to the age of the players that we've put out on loan, Adam Montgomery, 20-year-old, I think he should be in about the Celtic team. Liam Shaw, to see. Bosun Lowell, we put him out on loan. Should he have been in the first team? Should he have been in about the first team, gaining that experience? I don't know. By my calculations, we brought in 38 million transfer cash, including the 5 million for Ange. Yes, including the 5 million for Ange. So we're in profit again. We're coming out a transfer window, and they're coming out the transfer window, and we're in profit again. You know, so much for making us better, so much for bringing in the experience and making us better. Don't get me wrong, it's a fantastic... The fixtures are out, John. If you look along the bottom of my screen, that's the fixtures out. They will get announced officially in 3 minutes by Celtic. There will be 3 minutes, but that is the fixtures out going across the bottom of the screen. The fixtures are, there's a lot more people came on. Tuesday, 19th of September, away to Feyenoord. Wednesday, the 4th of October, at home to Lazio. Wednesday, the 25th of October, we are at home to Atletico Madrid. 7th of November, 8 p.m, we're away to Madrid. 28th of November, we're away to Lazio. So if you like your trips in November, it'll be nice and warm in Madrid during the day. It'll be freezing at night. Lazio might be about the same. And then we end the group on the 13th of December at home to Feyenoord. So, cheers, Justin. Yeah, just check along the ticker along the bottom of the screen and you'll see the dates that for the Champions League. Right, there's a lot more people in the house. Did we actually get 25 million for Jota? Yeah, we did. We got that cash up front. We should never let Vata go. He's not left the building yet. And I don't think he will now. he decided that the clubs that were on offer to him to go out on loan, he didn't want it to go to. He wants it to be his decision. He wants it to be his decision where he goes. And I think that's probably infuriated people at Celtic. He doesn't want to sign a new contract. He's basically going to run down his contract. So for me, put him in the B team and be done with him. Be done with him. I think it's one of those situations where another young player thinks he's better than what he is, and he's not prepared to do his time. But then again, when you look at Ben Doak, is it a problem Celtic have? You look at Ben Doak, we lost Ben Doak, who was in the B team. He goes down and he's almost right into the Liverpool team. Do you know, we've got 18 million for Jota. But yeah, when you talk about the money that comes off, but we're talking about the totals, John. Let's not go on about, we only got 18 million for Jota. You know what I mean? There's probably other ones that have been sold. Carl Starfelt might have had money come off that. We're talking about the total revenue that we brought in. Need to accept Celtic CFC will never spend crazy money to progress in the Champions League. Never happening. Europe is a bonus to Celtic. The board will always benefit from profit and not the actual club. Do you think Celtic are pinching transfer money for the new indoor training centre? No. I think that money would already be ring-fenced and it would probably be taken out in terms of a mortgage on the facility. That's what I think personally. I heard that we might use Vata as a centre forward. It'll be interesting to see what happens with Vata. He either has to get into the first team. Benfica got a cut. Yeah, we know Benfica got a cut, but we're talking about the total revenue that's been brought in. I mean, the time you take away tax and everything, you're going to have even less money. So if you want to talk about that, if you want to then get into the whole running a business, I could talk about that all day long because I've run businesses for 20 odd years. We're just talking about the total revenue that Celtic have made, the sales, right? Anyway, let's move on from it. We're not going to dispute anything about money with Celtic because let's face it, the board are going to give themselves a little pat on the back this morning, and they'll probably get his 2 million profit this year again. What about the hotel at Parkhead? That needed to be built. Yeah, we got the planning permission was approved for that year ago. Celtic are a PLC with no sugar daddy. Dividends are paid to shareholders. Yes, they are, but the dividends that are paid to shareholders are really low when you're a normal shareholder. And the ones that get the big dividends is the ones that have the special shares. Anyway, let's move on from that. Let's talk about the Champions League draw. Celtic should have updated the fixture list on the website. No, they haven't. Good old Celtic. They haven't updated their site yet. Come on, Celtic, get your finger out. Get your finger out, update the site. Hail Baz, feel much more a bit optimistic. Philippines are back in the house. How do we know how good Vata is? And there's been people that have been on the channel that have said, look, they go to B games and Vata isn't as good. How much for the new the hoop stop? I'm guessing 90 quid. No, it's 70 for the 120 year anniversary one. It's 70 pounds. 70 pounds. Champions League games look in our favour. It's always good. It's always good to get that last Champions League game at home. And it's going to come down. If we can get a draw, if we can get something at Lazio, and then I think it's going to be difficult in Madrid. It's going to be difficult because they're on fire just now. They're second in the league behind Real Madrid after 3 games. They are only on 7 points, but it's going to be a hard one. It's going to be a hard one. They're going to fancy it. The Madrid press think that Celtic are non-runners in the group. The Madrid press think that we are non-runners in the group again. It's up to us to change that this year. I think they'll see a different Celtic this year. They won't see this all-out attacking stuff that are trying to impress and play good football. You're going to see that a Celtic team that's a bit more defensive and tries to hit them on the break. Lazio, the second last game of the season, the fixture list away to Lazio, we can definitely get something for that. I think we've done it before. Done it before at Lazio, and we need to do it again. If we can get a draw, let's say we lose to Madrid, right? Let's say we draw at Lazio, and then it comes down to the last game. If it comes down to the last game to get us that third position, and puts us in a fantastic place, puts us in a fantastic. Hi, pal, are you happy with Abada signing a new deal? Yes, I am. I think it's absolutely fantastic for us, and it shows when you look at some of the statements that have been said by some players from the start of the season. They're enjoying their work again. Right? It was only Haksabanovic that wasn't enjoying his work, and he's been put out on loan to Stoke. He's been put out on loan to Stoke because he opened his gub. He could have been playing in the Champions League. He could have been in the squad for the Champions League. He could have got on as a sub in Madrid, but he opened his mouth and he thought he was better than what he was, and he's now playing at Stoke. He's now playing at Stoke. He's gone. He's out the door. Leave him. It's disappointing for me that we only loaned him out. I think Haksabanovic should have been sold. Should have been sold for what we paid for him. And I was under the understanding that he was going to be sold to Turkey, but he wanted to go to England. He wants to go to Stoke. If he wants to go there, let him go. Abada might settle down now. He's signed a new deal. Hoping anyway. I think Abada will. Stoke is the worst place I've visited in the UK. I have to agree with that. It's like, you remember, I don't know, I remember Coronation Street from years ago, when you seen the opening tracks for Coronation Street. It was like that when I visited, probably about 12 years ago. It was a depressing place, really depressing place. And he's going there. So Shankland was worth a punt. I'm not sure. It's great punishment for Haks. It is. It's fantastic punishment for Haksabanovic. Serves him right. Let's see if Celtic have updated their calendar yet. Come on, Celtic. What are you playing at? Everyone knows what the dates are, and Celtic haven't updated a thing yet. Celtic haven't updated anything. Saturday morning, they're like, oh, wait a minute, well, we're all working last night. Well, surely the media guys that were, they would be on this morning. But yeah, they are confirmed. Feyenoord away, home to Lazio, home to Atletico Madrid, away to Atletico Madrid 7th of November, 28th of November, away in Rome again, Papa Francesco. Let's get it on. The iconic tune. And then, does my voice still come through? Papa Francesco. Right, that's that. That song will get sung again. Got a huge burger or something in Rotterdam. I think Haksa will regret pulling his finger out at Celtic. Yes, 2 home games in the middle is good, says Chilpil. Yep, Peter probably has them on a 2-day week. He might actually have them on a 2-day week. Haksa put Stoke, not a step. Right, yep. Nobody's bigger than the club, and if you're going to come out in public and say, look, if they don't think that I'm worth it, maybe I'm in the wrong place. What was he expecting? Face to face to Brendan, he said everything was good. You know, on a personal note, Brendan said, you know, I was in the bar last night and Mighty Quinn. You know, Brendan said he thought everything was good with the player. He knows he was a squad player. He thought he should have been getting more game time. Every player thinks about it. When you look at the size of the squad now, I mean, the squad's massive. You look at the size of the squad now. I mean, we had a good squad last season. The fact that we only lost like 3 decent players out the first team. We'll be in Rome, Madrid, and Haxel will be in Stoke. Kind of suits him. It does that. Right, we've been on for 29 minutes. That's going to do us. We're going to just do the half hour. We're Why do you call it Sush? Blue Barn. Big day tomorrow. That's a big day tomorrow, Blue Barn, but I think that Celtic have pulled. I mean, yous have got that much. Yous are garbage. Let's face it. It's all on Rangers tomorrow. It is all on Rangers tomorrow. And by the way, Blue Barn, thanks for subscribing to the channel. Thanks for waiting 5 minutes to be able to comment. Tim's not allowed to comment out on zombie channels. Take it there's nobody in the house to ban it. Yeah, but that's because we're both crap. We're both crap, but Celtic at least have made some interesting buys this summer. The fact that we brought in Phillips, I think, will really give us solid defence. I think that will give us solid defence. The pace that we've got in the team now, I think that's what will scare yous. I think that's what will scare Rangers tomorrow. And if we play at our best, I think it could be a fun game. It could be a funny old game. It could be the fact that we're leaking goals. Well, we didn't last weekend, but it could be a 3-3 game. It could be one of the best games that we've seen for ages. But then you never know. You've got the likes of Cantwell that dives. He goes down quicker than anything. And that's, Anyway, it'll all come out in the wash tomorrow. I do think Celtic just have that little bit upper hand, and it all depends on how much will that affected the Rangers players, that scoreline the other night. Because let's face it, that was a tanking. And and the mistake that Goldson made, it's like, and everybody's saying that Butland is better than Joe Hart. Well, you look at what Joe Hart's won. Look what Joe Hart's done for England. He's got 75 caps for England. Anyway, it's going to be interesting tomorrow, to say the least. But I think yous will get a penalty just because it is at Ibrox, and I think there was always going to be the penalty. Baz, your wee friend, changed one of his mates from the pub. Stockish. Butland was our only good player. Cervical don't like playing in front of their own fans when it's going tits up. I think if it all comes down, if Celtic score first tomorrow, I think the natives at Ibrox will turn on the team pretty quick. I mean, we're talking about Brendan Rodgers not getting any of that leeway. And Brendan Rodgers he doesn't deserve any leeway at Celtic. And, and the fact that a lot of people have still got issues with the way that he left before, he's not going to get any leeway at all. It's where Beale, he's brought on all his own players. And to be fair, they're not playing any better. I honestly think that one of the Lanky, I think one of the biggest, I don't think you should have got rid of Morelos personally, because as bad as he was, he could be good sometimes. But anyway, he's got rid of somebody that could score goals for you. Anyway, Butland will save them points. I've got a funny feeling it could be a draw tomorrow. I did go last night. I said it would be 2-1 to Celtic. I think Celtic will score first and maybe even go 2-0 up, and then they'll get their penalty. But you don't know. You don't know how the game will go. With all the new players that are going to be there, it'll be interesting to see how the Rangers players react, because they've never seen anything like this before. At least we've got players that have been there and done it. We've got players that have played in that intimidating atmosphere before. They've played there before and they've won. Let's face it, they've won. Trying to take anything from the last game of last season, where Ange Postecoglou made wholesale changes to the team. Morelos got hunted from Greece yesterday because of his attitude. Jeez. Has he actually got a team? When you look at the last game of the season last year, for anybody, and especially Rangers fans, to try and take anything from that game because they won, and the beat a Celtic team had 8 changes, and the 8 changes were players that just weren't good enough for Celtic. And I think that was Ange Postecoglou basically shown that to the board. Brendan's came in and he said that he wanted quality, But what we've added is we've added a lot of youth experience and speed. And if Yang plays at his game tomorrow, and just wait till you see Paulo. If Paulo plays tomorrow, I think that they're not going to know what hit them in midfield. I think they're all hoping that Turnbull plays. I don't think Turnbull will play. I think that Paulo will go straight into that team, and he'll be absolutely. For playing 23 games for Benfica, his first game for Benfica was in the Champions League against Bayern Munich. So that's the level of player that we've brought in that midfield, and the fact that we've got him on an option to buy, and it is only going to be around about 3 million. People are saying 6 million. Some people are saying he's got a buyout clause in 90 million, which is nonsense. We're never buying him at 90 million. And we're certainly, have I seen him, Child? No, I've watched a lot of footage about him last night. And I spoke to a Portuguese mate, well, a guy that's Portuguese here. He actually stays in London. And he said that he's a decent player. Sevco, fashion. Right, we're way over what I was going to do. Let's see if Celtic have updated their site yet. I don't think they have. Come on, Celtic, it's 9:15. Celtic still haven't updated their site, but I'll give you the dates. The dates they're going along the bottom of the screen. I'll just go back to the screen. And I'll wait till it gets back to the start before I give you them again. You can see them running along here. I think if we can get anything from the Lazio game at all, and then it comes down to the last game against the Dutch mob, and if we can get 3 points, I think that's what it's going to come down to. And it's all about finishing third. Let's not try and kid ourselves on that we're going to try and finish second or something. It's all about finishing third. Right, so there's the fixtures. Tuesday the 19th of September, Feyenoord versus Celtic. That's a cracking opener. It's away from home. You kind of want that the first game. And then we're at home to Lazio, 25th. Lazio, the Wednesday the 25th, at home to Atletico Madrid. And then we're away to Atletico Madrid. That's that back-to-back could be the killer. I don't think we'll take any. That's 6 points that you're going to lose straight away. And then we're away to Lazio. And then the last game, Wednesday, the 13th of December, at home to Feyenoord. I think when it comes down to it, it's going to come down to if we can take anything from Lazio away. And let's face it, we need to try and do something at home. We need to try and do something at home against at least two of the teams. And on that note, there's not much more Celtic news kicking about this morning. We've spoken about all the players that we've brought in, the age of the players that we've brought in. We'll recap all the players. 10 players, some amount of players. We didn't need to bring in 10 players, which it's weird. It is just weird. Obviously, Soro, he's left the building. But we'll talk about the players that come in. Obviously, Iwata was signed. It was an obligation to buy Iwata, thanks to Ange Postecoglou. We brought in Odin. We brought in Marco from Australia. We brought in Yang. We brought in Kwon. We brought in Rocky. We brought in Gustav. Laga, Gustav. We brought in Luis Palma. We brought in Nat Phillips for a bit of cover and defence until January. And then we brought in the one, Paulo Bernardo, who is going to be an absolute menace in midfield for us. So, with that being said, that is it. The fixtures are out. Let's just double check again to see if Celtic have updated their site. And they have not. But that is the dates going along the bottom of the screen. So I hope you've written them all down. All household names. Listen, you can go out and get loans, and Butland, it shows a bit of lack of ambition that he's came up to Rangers, don't you think? Because let's face it, you haven't won a lot in the last. I mean, it must be hard being a Rangers fan just now because Celtic have had pretty much domination for the last 20 years. Anyway, it's all good. It's all good football banter. I couldn't even tell you one player that Rangers have signed because I'm not interested. So on that note, please don't mention beers. I'm rough and not ready to drink again. Lanky, neither am I. I'm sorry. Celtic have posted the fixture list on Twitter. There you go. They've got it on Twitter now. Let's just have a quick look. Come on. They always post things on Twitter before. Yeah, there you go. Feyenoord away, Lazio at home, Real Madrid home. So, yep. I always say I get it up there first. Never last. Right. That is the dates. Celtic have released the dates. It is the dates that are along the bottom of the screen. As you see there. It's exact same dates. So, brilliant news. We are in the Champions League. They're not. They're in here because they want to see the teams that we're playing. Have a great morning, Celtic fans, and I'll see you. I might see you later on because the weather's rubbish today. Might do another video later. We'll see how it goes. And then I'll see you tomorrow morning, and then we'll see you after the game tomorrow. Win, lose, or draw. On that note, have a fantastic day, Celtic fans all around the world. And that's it. I've never even played it.